Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive with us. We love to get into the weeds on all things future of work, and today's no different.
Yeah.
We're tackling AI and how it's shaking up workplace training.
Training and development. Yeah, it's definitely a hot topic right now, and AI is changing the game in some pretty big ways.
I bet a lot of you listening are either dealing with new training programs at work or at least curious about the latest trends. AI is popping up everywhere.
It really is.
So we're doing a deep dive into a chapter that breaks down the AI revolution in training, kind of like your cheat sheet to the future of learning.
We're going to cover a lot of ground in this deep dive. Everything from, personalizing those learning experiences to how AI can even take over all those administrative tasks that nobody really enjoys doing.
Okay, wait, stop right there.
Mm-hmm.
Are you telling me that AI can handle scheduling all those training sessions?
Oh, absolutely. Think of it this way. An AI assistant that's smart enough to manage everyone's calendars. Figure out who needs which training, and then it just books everything. No more back and forth emails, no more headaches.
I think I just heard a chorus of hallelujah from project managers everywhere. Seriously, though, that would be a game changer. So many companies are still stuck in the Stone Age with spreadsheets and manual reports.
Right, but that's all about to change. AI can track attendance, it can see how everyone's progressing in the program, it can even flag who might need some extra help along the way. This means trainers can actually, focus on training.
Makes so much sense. Instead of drowning in paperwork, they can actually help people learn and grow.
Yeah.
But what really caught my eye in this chapter was this idea of personalized learning journeys. Sounds amazing, but is it too good to be true?
Well, it's becoming more and more of a reality. AI can actually tailor training to your specific needs and how you learn best. We're talking adaptive learning systems. These systems can actually change how hard or easy the material is depending on how you're doing.
Hold on. So if I'm acing a module, it'll give me harder stuff. But if I'm struggling, it slows down.
Exactly. It's like having a program that learns and grows with you, always challenging you just enough, but never overwhelming you. And studies are showing that using these adaptive systems can boost scores on assessments by as much as 15%.
Okay, that's impressive. What about for folks who might need to switch careers or learn a whole new skill set? Can AI help with that too?
Absolutely. AI is incredible at creating what are called individualized learning paths. It looks at your skills, it considers your career goals, and then it suggests courses that can bridge that gap.
So let's say I'm killing it in my current role, but I'm thinking about moving into leadership. The AI might recommend I take some leadership training courses, almost like an AI career advisor.
You got it. It's using data to figure out where you are now, where you want to go, and then builds that learning path to get you there. Pretty cool, huh?
It really is. Way more helpful than just being thrown into whatever random training your company happens to offer. But let's talk about something that feels a bit more future-y. This chapter mentions AI virtual coaches and chatbots. Is that really a thing?
Oh yeah, it's definitely a thing. And it's gaining traction fast. Think of it as having 24/7 support for your learning journey.
So if I'm stuck on something late at night, I don't have to wait till morning to email my trainer.
Nope. You can get instant answers, clarification on any concepts that's confusing you, even guidance on very specific topics, all from an AI chatbot. They can even help you review what you've learned and give you feedback on how you're applying the concepts.
That's super useful. But also maybe a little bit lonely. Isn't part of learning the interaction with other people?
It's a good point. AI is a powerful tool, but it's not meant to replace human interaction completely.
Yeah.
Actually, lots of companies are using AI chatbots to facilitate group discussions and peer-to-peer learning.
So it's like the chatbot is sort of moderating a study group, keeping everyone on track and making sure everybody has a chance to participate.
You got it. It's about finding that balance between the efficiency and personalization AI offers with the value of human connection.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, another thing that jumped out at me was the whole AI as a data whiz in training and development. We know data is important, but how is AI actually using it to make training better?
Well, AI is really good at spotting patterns and finding insights in data that would take humans forever to figure out. Think about all the data generated during a typical training program, how long people spend on different modules, how they score on quizzes, even the feedback they give at the end.
So is AI using that data to figure out what's working and what's not, like what your modules people are actually learning from and which ones need a serious revamp?
Exactly. That's called learning analytics, and it's helping companies design training programs that are more effective and engaging. But it goes even further than that. AI can also use that data for what's called predictive analytics.
Predictive analytics. Is that like AI telling us what skills we'll need in the future? Sounds a bit like fortune telling.
It might feel that way, but it's really based on trends and real data. For example, AI can look at job postings, industry reports, and even employee performance reviews to predict which skills will be in high demand.
So companies could use that information to create training programs that prepare their people for those future skills. That's pretty smart.
Incredibly valuable. It helps companies stay ahead of the curve and make sure their workforce is ready for whatever's coming next.
Okay, but let's be honest. Sometimes training content can be, well, kind of boring,
Hmm.
no matter how much data you analyze.
I hear ya. But here's where AI can really shake things up. We're talking about creating training content that's dynamic, engaging, actually fun to learn from.
Okay, now you have my attention. Tell me more.
Think about content curation. AI can sift through mountains of material and find the most relevant stuff for your specific needs. No more wading through endless manuals or watching outdated videos.
So it's like having a personalized library of learning resources that's constantly updated with the best and most relevant stuff.
You got it. But AI goes beyond just finding the right content. It can also completely change how that content is delivered. Ever heard of microlearning?
I've heard of it, but honestly, I don't really get it. Explain it like I'm 5.
Microlearning is all about breaking down information into bite-sized chunks, easy to digest. Imagine this. You get a 5-minute video or a quick interactive quiz sent to your phone during your lunch break. Much better than sitting through a 3-hour lecture, right?
Okay, now that I can get behind, I definitely learn better in short bursts than trying to cram everything at once.
And AI is perfect for that. It can look at your schedule, figure out your preferences, then deliver those little learning nuggets at the best times.
It's like having a personal trainer for your brain. Okay, I'm ready for the truly futuristic stuff now. What about AI-powered VR and simulations? Those still seem pretty sci-fi to me.
They're becoming more mainstream, and AI is really what's driving that. Imagine stepping into a virtual world. You can practice real-world skills in a safe environment.
So not just reading about something or watching a video, but actually doing it virtually.
Exactly. And what makes it even cooler is the real-time feedback you can get from AI. Let's say you're learning a new surgical procedure in VR. The AI can assess every move you make and give you instant feedback on what you're doing well and where you need to improve.
Wow, that's amazing. It's like having an expert surgeon literally looking over your shoulder and guiding you.
You got it. And these simulations can get really complex. They can actually change and adapt based on your actions. So it's not just a canned experience. It's truly interactive and responsive.
This is blowing my mind.
Yeah.
What other examples come to mind?
Think customer service reps practicing how to deal with tough client interactions in VR, or pilots practicing emergency landings in a flight simulator. The possibilities are pretty much endless.
It's incredible to think about all the applications.
Yeah.
But it also makes me wonder,
That's that.
well, if AI is doing so much of the heavy lifting, what does that mean for the role of human trainers and instructors?
That's a great question, and it's something we're going to dig into much deeper in the next part of our deep dive. It's a question a lot of people are asking, and they should be asking it. The truth is, AI isn't about replacing human trainers. It's more about, giving them superpowers.
Superpowers. Okay. I'm intrigued. Tell me more about these trainer superpowers.
Well, think about it. How much time do trainers spend on stuff like grading quizzes, scheduling sessions, creating really basic content?
Oh, a ton, probably. I remember even back in school, my teachers were always swamped with that kind of stuff.
Exactly. But AI can take care of a lot of those repetitive tasks. This frees up trainers to really focus on what they're best at, building relationships, providing personalized guidance, and, really getting into the why behind the what.
So less paperwork, more human connection. I can get behind that.
Yeah.
But it also makes me think about how training programs are designed in the first place.
Absolutely. We can't just slap AI onto old school training models and expect amazing results. That's why we're seeing a lot of innovation in how content is made and how it's delivered.
Like what? Give me some examples.
Well, one big trend is using AI to make training content more dynamic, more engaging. Traditional training materials are often static, one size fits all. AI lets us create content that adapts to the learner's needs and keeps them interested.
So it's not just about finding the right content. It's also about making it come alive.
You got it. AI can look at how you learn best, what you're interested in, even your past performance, and then create an experience that really clicks for you.
Okay, that sounds great in theory, but I'm having trouble picturing it. Can you give me a real-world example?
Sure. Imagine you're learning about project management. Could be a pretty dry topic. An AI-powered program could build a custom learning path just for you. That path could include videos, interactive simulations, even real-world case studies. And it's all tailored to your specific learning style.
Okay, now that makes more sense. It's like the content itself is changing based on how I'm interacting with it.
Exactly. And it can even change the difficulty level. If you're breezing through something, it throws in more challenging material. If you're struggling, it slows down and offers more support.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Almost like the AI is like a co-creator of the training program working with the human instructors.
That's a great way to put it. It's a partnership, not a replacement.
But let's be real, sometimes even the best content can feel a bit dry. How can AI help with that?
Okay, have you ever played a video game that actually taught you something without you even realizing it?
All the time. I've learned so much about history and geography just from playing video games.
Exactly. That's the power of gamification, and AI can really take that to a whole new level. We're talking about personalized game experiences tailored to your interests and goals, making learning fun and addictive.
Sign me up for those AI-powered training games. But what about people who aren't gamers?
AI's got something for everyone. Another powerful tool is storytelling. We're hardwired to connect with stories, and AI can weave narratives into the training content. Makes it more memorable, more relatable.
Yeah, I can see that. A good story can make even the most complex topic interesting.
Right. And AI can even personalize the characters and scenarios in those stories to make them super relevant to your life and experiences.
So it's not just about presenting like facts and figures, it's about bringing those concepts to life through stories. I like that.
It's all about making learning stick, and AI is giving us tons of new tools to do just that.
Okay, but let's talk about actually delivering the content. We touched on microlearning earlier. Are there other ways AI is changing how we access training?
Definitely. Personalized learning platforms are becoming huge. They use AI to curate content just for you, based on your needs,
Yeah.
and then deliver it in a way that works with your schedule.
So it's like a Netflix for learning. But isn't it overwhelming to have so many choices?
It's a fair point. But these platforms use AI to filter all the options, and then they recommend what makes the most sense for you. They can also track your progress, provide feedback, even connect you with other learners who have similar interests.
So it's not just about throwing a bunch of content at you. It's really about creating a personalized learning experience.
Exactly. And then there are intelligent tutoring systems,
Right.
almost like having a personal tutor who's available whenever you need them.
Is that different from the virtual coaches we talked about earlier?
Similar, but intelligent tutoring systems are laser-focused on providing instruction and support, like a one-on-one experience.
So they can walk you through stuff, answer your questions, and give you feedback in real time.
That's it. They can analyze how you're answering questions, figure out where you're struggling, then provide explanations and examples that really make sense to you.
That sounds amazing, especially for folks who learn best with that one-on-one support.
Right, and it's making that kind of support accessible to everybody.
I also love that AI can help facilitate peer-to-peer learning. I've always found that learning from others is incredibly valuable.
Me too. And AI can make that even easier by creating online communities and forums where learners can connect, share resources, ask questions.
It's like a virtual study group, available 24/7.
Exactly. And AI can even match you up with peers who have similar interests or who are working on similar projects. It's a great way to build community and learn from each other.
Okay, I have to say, I'm seriously impressed with all the ways AI is changing how training content is delivered. It's making learning more accessible, more personalized,
Yeah.
and way more engaging.
It's an exciting time to be in the learning and development world, but as with any new technology, there are some challenges we need to be aware of.
Like what? What are some of the potential downsides of using AI in training?
Well, one concern is that AI is going to, eventually replace human workers.
I could definitely see how that would worry people, especially trainers and instructors.
It's a valid concern, and we have to acknowledge that some jobs are likely to be automated as AI gets more and more sophisticated.
But wait, does that mean we're all doomed to be replaced by robots?
Not necessarily. A lot of experts believe that AI will actually create new jobs as it automates the old ones.
So it's less about AI versus humans and more about humans and AI working together.
Exactly. The key is to focus on developing skills that complement AI, not skills that can be, easily automated.
What kind of skills are we talking about?
Things like critical thinking, creativity, problem solving, communication, collaboration. These are all skills that require human judgment, ingenuity, and emotional intelligence, things that AI isn't very good at.
Those are important skills no matter what field you're in.
Absolutely. And they're the skills that are going to become even more valuable in an AI-powered world.
So instead of being afraid of AI, we should see it as a chance to upskill and retrain ourselves for those jobs of the future.
Precisely. AI can be a powerful tool for empowering workers and helping them adapt to the changing workplace.
That's a much more optimistic way to look at it. Are there any other challenges we should be thinking about?
Well, there's also the cost factor. Implementing AI in training can be pricey, requires investment in tech and infrastructure.
So not every company can afford to do it.
Right. It can be a barrier for smaller organizations or those with tight budgets.
I see. Well, we've covered a lot of ground today. From personalized learning journeys to the potential challenges of AI, it's clear that this technology is having a huge impact on training and development.
It definitely is. And the future of AI in learning is only going to get more exciting.
I'm excited to see what's next. But before we wrap up, I want to go back to something we discussed earlier, the role of human instructors in an AI-powered world. What does that future look like?
Yeah, it's something that's on a lot of people's minds, and for good reason. But I think instead of, worrying about AI replacing human instructors, we should really be thinking about how it can empower them.
Okay, I like that. How does AI empower trainers?
Well, imagine a world where trainers don't have to spend hours grading quizzes or putting together basic content. AI can handle all that stuff, frees up trainers to focus on the things that really matter,
Like what kind of things?
like mentoring, coaching, facilitating group discussions, providing really individualized support. You know the stuff that truly makes a difference.
It's still less about standing up and lecturing, more about being a guide, a mentor, a facilitator.
Exactly. It's a shift from content delivery to human connection, and that's where human trainers are always going to be essential.
Makes sense. So instead of fearing AI, trainers should really be embracing it as a tool that helps them be even more effective.
Absolutely. Working with AI, not against it.
Love that perspective. It's pretty inspiring to think about what's possible.
It is, and those possibilities are only going to get bigger as AI gets smarter.
Speaking of getting smarter, what are some of the big trends and predictions for the future of AI in training and development? What's coming next?
Well, one trend that's really taking off is hyper-personalization.
Hyper-personalization. That sounds intense. What does that even mean?
It means going way beyond just tailoring content to your learning style. It's about creating a learning experience that's so tuned into your needs and your goals that it feels like it was designed just for you.
So it's like taking personalization to the next level.
Exactly. And this is all driven by advancements in AI, like natural language processing and machine learning. These technologies let AI really get to know the learner.
That's pretty mind-blowing. What other trends are you seeing?
Another big one is AI-powered assistants and chatbots in learning. We touched on virtual coaches, but these AI helpers are going to be everywhere in the learning process.
So it's like having a 24/7 learning buddy who can answer questions, give feedback, recommend resources, maybe even connect you with other learners.
Exactly. They're there to support you every step of the way.
That would be incredibly helpful.
Yeah.
Especially for folks who are balancing work, family, and all the other things in life. What other predictions can you share?
I think we're going to see a big push for using AI to really measure the effectiveness of training. We talked about ROI before, but AI is going to be crucial for helping organizations understand if their training is actually working.
So it's not enough to just spend money on training. You need to know if it's actually making a difference.
Exactly. AI can help organizations track things like performance engagement and knowledge retention in real time. Then they can use that data to constantly improve their training programs.
That's so important. You want to make sure your investment is actually paying off.
Right. And AI can also help us deal with that skills gap we see in so many industries.
We talked about reskilling, but how can AI actually help close that gap?
AI can help us see those skills gaps before they even happen. Then it can suggest personalized learning paths to help workers learn the skills they'll need.
So it's not just about reacting to change, it's about getting ahead of it.
Exactly. AI can help us stay ahead of the curve and make sure our workforce has the right skills for the future.
I'm excited about the possibilities. It feels like AI can help us create a whole new era for learning and development, one that's more personalized, more engaging, and way more effective.
I'm right there with you. It's an incredibly exciting time to be in this field.
This has been a fantastic deep dive. I feel like I've learned so much about what AI can do for learning.
I'm glad to hear that.
Well, as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with something to think about. Knowing what you now know about the power of AI, what do you think the future holds for education and training? What skills do you think will be the most valuable in a world where AI is a part of learning? Let us know what you think. And thanks for joining us for another deep dive.
It's been a pleasure. See you next time.